first off, it's worth mentioning the 93rd Academy Awards are set to take place at least April 25th of next year, which is far later than the Oscars has been in the last couple decades. Normally it's at the end of February, somewhere in March. But this year it's not until April 25th, delayed due to the pandemic and also the lengthier than usual eligibility window that they tried to offer to them as well. But according to an Academy rep, and I quote, the Oscars in-person telecast will happen, he or she says so boldly. It's all right. Let's talk optimistically before we talk realistically.
Okay.
It's going to depend on the vaccine rollout along, but this is going to be the bigger hindrance here. I'm sorry, but it's going to depend on California restrictions. Mm-hmm. California has had some of the strictest restrictions in the country throughout the coronavirus pandemic. And let me tell you something else, too. I don't know if you heard this, but the San Francisco 49ers currently cannot play their home games at their stadium until further notice because Santa Clara County, without even calling the 49ers, said no contact sports in Santa Clara County, at least for the next 3 weeks. So the Niners are like, what the hell are we going to do? Long story short, they're going to be using the Arizona Cardinals stadium as their home field.
Wow.
If the Niners, who are a multi-billion with a B dollar entity, can't work around this and all of a sudden got their home field pulled out from under them, I don't know if the Dolby Theater in LA is going to be, off limits to the California restrictions. California does not screw around with a lot of these, especially with this pandemic. They don't screw around. It's going to mainly depend, not so much on the vaccine rollout. And let's be honest, we're talking about rich people. They'll get it way before any of us do.
I like to think that it's like if you get nominated, you're guaranteed a vaccine.
But
work hard
it's
for
worth
that vaccine.
Yeah, no kidding. Pull yourself up by your Louis Vuittons and your Gucci belt or whatever, and you too can get a COVID vaccine first. But the Emmys in September had some in-person elements for what it's worth, with Jimmy Kimmel hosting from his house and the nominees also being in their homes as well. And that's how I envision the Oscars being. I mentioned back in May when we were talking about this, I said the Oscars are going to be virtual, book it, and I'm standing by that. I don't see how they're going to have it in person. If it was later in the year, later in 2021, like in the fall, maybe, I don't see this happening, especially also when you consider that a lot of the Academy members, number one, and a lot of the actors are freaking old. Scorsese, Meryl Streep, Glenn Close, Anthony Hopkins. These people are old. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't it suck too? The first year Glenn Close wins an Oscar and she dies.
Don't put that out in the world, but damn. It's true. It's reasonable to believe.
Because they wanted this in person.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think
it's so nonsensical. Like, Jesus Christ! Like, honestly, even like opening Tenet makes more sense. Like, having Tenet be open to the public makes more sense because it's us peons, right? Just making them money or whatever. Like, I would think you would want to keep your most precious assets safe, right? Why do they need to be there? Like, honestly, like, I'm at the point where if you like willingly accept the invitation to go to this thing, you're kind of an idiot. I'm like, why? Jesus Christ.
If Meryl Streep gets the Rona and she dies, that's a lot of movies that a lot of producers were banking on.
Mm-hmm. And it's also, too, if this year has taught us anything, don't speak definitively about a damn thing. Like, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing in a couple of weeks. I don't know what I'm doing for Christmas, to be completely honest with you, given all the state of affairs and stuff. For the Oscars to speak definitively about this, that's the other thing, too. And that's where you get this impression, too, and this talk about the Oscars being tone deaf, which I think they've kind of proven themselves to be in the last several years, to be so hardened about how this will be an in-person telecast. You're going to wind up on the Twitter account Old Takes Exposed very quick. That's how that stuff starts happening.
Poorly aged things.
What is what even... What? Let's brainstorm. What are even like arguments for having this in person?
Because it's the Oscars.
Normalcy.
Yeah. No, okay. Normalcy. That's one dumbass reason. I
I
can't.
didn't say it was a good reason. You said you wanted a reason.
Yeah.
Like.
It's so weird too, because like, imagine them doing
Can't.
this, and then like Hollywood pulls like a bunch of shit. It's just like, we need to follow and stay quarantined. It's like you guys literally hosted like the party night central thing that you guys do once a year in Hollywood at the Dolby Theater.
The Democratic National Committee could nominate old ass Joe Biden over telecast with the controller, the dude who's like in charge of like cameras going here and there. Very, very tough job. Look up videos of like the guy who does the Tonys and stuff. It's a fascinating job. It's like camera 1 go, camera 7 go. It's
Hell,
like,
you gotta
really
you gotta wear a diaper
Dude.
for that job.
Flipping
but that
between
direct-
Google
right?
and this screen for Sleepless, like this is like already like a lot.
But the director, the television director, I don't know the role, who did the Democratic National Convention where they nominate Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and stuff, that dude did it in his living room. He had the setup shipped to him and he set it up ahead of time. And like this is Hollywood. You can CGI shit. You can like hire Industrial Sound and Magic to have like a freaking Anthony Hopkins and like an avatar, like host it with gorillas. I don't know, just do whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hologram of Meryl Streep.
I mean, like I think of the new animated movie, The Croods. A large portion of that, the animators were working on it at home, though.
Yeah.
You know, they finished they did all or most of post production at home. By themselves. So I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not trying to get too worked up about it because I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to wind up being virtual.
Not.
I said it in May. I said it in May even before. I said it in April or May. I think it was even shortly before or around the time of the NFL draft. I said it's going to be something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to wind up being something like that. And to its credit, the NFL draft was flawless because the NFL draft was the first major event during the pandemic to try to go off and do that, and I think it went off without a hitch.
Yeah,